Winter is nearly over. The earth begins to change as the days grow longer and warmer. Swell as a result of melting ice and snow. Frozen ponds and lakes begin to melt. The melting snows give way to the first flowers of spring. In the warm days of spring, plants begin the important process of photosynthesis. Through this process, plants convert light into food, and new buds, leaves, and flowers appear everywhere. For the animals that have been active all winter searching for food, spring brings relief from near starvation and bitter cold. The animals will feast on the fresh spring grasses and slowly regain the weight lost during the winter months. As the weather turns warm, some animals, such as the buffalo, shed their thick winter fur. Other animals, like the ptarmigan, the changing season brings a change in disguise or color, which helps protect them from predators. During winter, the feathers of the ptarmigan are all white, blending with the color of snow. By late winter, the bird's feathers begin changing to match the colors of spring and summer. This type of natural disguise or camouflage is called protective coloration. Early spring is the time when some animals awaken from hibernation. Among the first babies of spring are these bear cubs. Some bears are not true hibernators, but are active periodically during winter. Many of the birds which flew south to avoid the cold weather are now returning. Birds that leave in autumn and return in spring are called migrators. The Canadian goose is a migrator. Each spring it travels to these northern woods to build a nest and raise its young. There are many kinds of migrating birds. often travel in very large flocks. Many of the returning birds look for new nesting sites. While others return to the same nest each year and maintain it by adding new materials. Birds will build a nest in a place most suited to their particular needs. Hunting birds, or raptors, will often build their nests very high, where they have an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. The golden eagle and prairie falcon are two birds which build their nests with expansive views. The prairie falcon hunts ground squirrels and is often seen circling over meadows. Animals which hunt other animals are called predators. One might have ill feelings about predators, but it must be remembered that predators help control the population of other animals, like the rabbit and prairie dog, which would otherwise grow out of control. Some birds build their nests on the ground. Nature protects many of these birds and nests by giving them a protective disguise. The eggs and young in this nest resemble the nearby rocks. This type of camouflage is called protective resemblance. But sometimes even the best disguised nest is discovered by an alert predator. When this happens, some birds protect their young by trying to lure the predator away. Here the killdeer pretends it has a broken wing. There are few favorites in nature. All living things have characteristics which help to provide them with a chance for survival in their environment. This newborn antelope fawn is completely helpless because it cannot run or fight to protect itself. But the characteristic defense which nature has given it is the ability to lie perfectly still and be completely without odor. It is also protectively colored. The fawn's hide blends well with the environment in which it lives. The young of other large mammals, like the moose, are protected in the same ways as the antelope fawn. The parents of most animals are very active in feeding and caring for and protecting their newborn. Foods which animals eat vary. Young predators depend upon their parents to provide food for them until they are able to hunt and provide for themselves. There are also many animals which feed only on plants. These young buffalo calves eat the lush grasses, buds, and shoots of spring. And these foods, eaten by mammals such as the buffalo, are supplemented by its mother's milk. Some birds, like these trumpeter swans, eat mainly plants. Another group of animals are known as scavengers. Scavengers, like the magpie, eat what is left on the bones of animals which were killed by predators or died of natural causes. However, the greatest number of birds eat insects for their food. There are more insects on Earth than any other type of living thing. Insects that have been dormant during winter become active during the warm days of spring. And countless eggs are hatched. Larvae emerge and, like the caterpillar, eat the leaves off the plant on which they were born. After a time, the caterpillar will spin its cocoon. And soon a butterfly will emerge. When an insect changes from one form to another, as the caterpillar changes into a butterfly, the change is called metamorphosis. Insects are an important part of the process of pollination because they transfer pollen, which plants require to reproduce. The spring winds are also important to pollination because they too transfer pollen. Rain is as essential to the rebirth cycle of spring as it is in nature's complex chain of life. Growing plants need lots of water. Because there are plants, there are insects and birds which eat those insects, and animals that eat plants, and the predators that eat those birds and animals. Spring is a time of renewal, rebirth, and repair. With thousands of buffalo walking on the roof of its den, the prairie dog spends most of the spring days repairing its trampled home. During spring, beavers give birth to their young. Beavers are great builders, with projects like dams and riverbank lodges. But spring floods mean extra work for beavers. Keeping the dam safe is necessary to maintain the home pond. Lodges are the actual living sites for beaver, with underwater entrances and a main living room. Just the right spot to raise a family. One of the main observations of spring is that it is a time of birth, like these fawns and moose calves and buffalo calves. late spring, many animals change their appearance. For example, animals like the elk, moose, and deer have shed their antlers. The antlers simply fall off, only to begin growing again, bigger and stronger. In the weeks before summer, new antlers appear, covered with a soft, fleshy material called velvet. Horns differ from antlers in that they are not shed yearly. For example, the horns of antelope and sheep stay with the animal all its life. By the end of spring, most birds have grown large enough to begin flapping their wings. Soon they will leave their nests and walk along the branches. As soon as the birds gain enough confidence and strength to flap their wings, they will make short flights from the nest. Some animals, like these bear cubs, will stay with their mother until the next winter. On the other hand, these young hawks will soon be on their own. Spring is a time when nature restores the earth. Warmer days with more hours of sunshine help hibernators awaken from their long winter sleep, and also welcome the return of migrating birds. Forms of life renew with the warmth of spring. Spring is a season spent in repair, renewal, and rebirth. These cycles have occurred for millions of years, and left undisturbed, will continue to be an important force in the natural patterns of life.